Hello, friends. Welcome to the Meds and Magic podcast. I am Samantha, and I am so honored to have a dear, dear friend of mine, Dr. Darnita Henry here of Align Wellness. And she's here to talk to us a little bit about, first of all, her journey, because y'all, the wounded healer is a real thing. And if your healer, whoever you're going to, your person who you're seeking sort of counsel and guidance about your health doesn't have their own testimony and story about their own personal transformation, that's information that you need to kind of assess, because anybody who's really committed to the deep work of healing has their own story to tell. So I'm so excited for her to share some of her journey with us today, and to talk to her about Dr. Mom Baby as well, and just really get into a lot of the topics and issues that are kind of coming up for us as a collective right now. So I'm so happy to have her. I'm going to let her kind of talk about herself a little bit, and we're going to jump right into this conversation.
Thank you. First of all, I'm very, very, very happy to be here. This is actually just really a dream come true. We talk a lot and we can go on and on and on, sure, because we get it. We really get it. So it's an honor to be here, first of all. My name is Dr. Darnita Henry, and I am a holistic chiropractor as well as a functional medicine doctor. I have been practicing, almost 18 years, I think now. So it's been a while. It's been a journey, and I almost don't even know where the time went. I'm not sure. Like, I feel like maybe I kind of graduated from chiropractic school maybe like 5 years ago or something. And no, it's been way longer than that.
It's crazy.
So, but the good thing about it is I do feel like I found my footing, if that makes sense. Yeah. You know, a lot of times we get started in careers and we decide what we want to be and who we want to be. And then life takes us on the journey of actually finding out who we really are.
Yeah.
You thought you were going to be neat and clean in this little box with, married, 2.5 kids, a dog, a white picket fence. And then you find out, girl, no.
Ideas, very firm ideas and beliefs of what you want your life to be. And really it's in that sort of rigidity that really shakes us to our core when stuff does come up unexpected. Life sort of puts a kink in your plans.
Yep.
So your ability to sort of be a little bit more fluid and your outlook fluid, and you know what? I thought that I was going to be this thing, but I'm open. It doesn't even mean that you have to be gung-ho about change. Like, that's not realistic.
Right.
But be open.
Right.
And curious.
Yeah.
About, and surrender to that higher calling, that higher source that's really pulling a lot of these strings anyway. Let's be honest.
Exactly. Exactly. And that has been one of the threads that has really pulled the things in my life together. And from having babies to, just everything has always been about that surrender.
Yeah.
And I had a bit of that rigidity. I definitely had that rigidity. My mom used to comment about that. Like, you can't be so rigid, because I did think that things were going to be how they were going to be. And like, as long as I do this, like as long as I do A, I'm going to get B, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's how this is supposed to work out. Yeah. Not necessarily true at all. You can do all the A you want and might get in, and then now what are you going to do with that?
Yeah.
How are you going to use that? Put that put that in your box, figure out what tool that's going to be, and use that too. But I feel like the earlier we can kind of learn that, the better. But I also don't know if it's actually like teachable. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't know if it's something that can be taught.
Yeah.
It may just be something that has to be experienced.
Yeah. And I think, to your point, if we set up our systems, because I'm a big fan of, we are not to be beholden to structures, but structures should help support us.
Right.
Right. And so if we can find a way to set up structures, support families in a way that create a container an environment for experiential learning and experiences that allow you to start trusting your intuition, listening to your inner voice. I feel like that in itself is the preparation for life's.
And then understanding that
that's gonna come for you.
Yeah, that your setup may look different from my setup. Our setups may have some overlap that looks similar, but what works for you and your family may not look the same as what works for me and my family. I am still just top of the mind figuring out lunch every day for my kids and dinner and everything. And I noticed that, last year I had started doing this bulk preparation on Sundays, bulk preparation, plenty of food, breakfast, and lunches, and you had some variety in there. You just pick, but I know that everything in there is good. So I don't care what you have. Just these are your things, right? And then we started this year, and I kind of let it be a free for all. We just provided the food, and you guys pack it, and that doesn't work as well. So I'm back to in the kitchen on Sunday preparing these meals, and then funny thing is, right before I came here this morning, I took what has been left from the week, and now I'm making a soup.
Listen, the resourcefulness of it all.
Right.
I am so for it.
Yes.
We are aligned because we have big families.
Yeah.
So when you have, a bunch of kids, you really need to start thinking about, okay, if your value is being preparing whole food, real food, not as much processed things, farm to garden to kitchen,
right?
Type of living, but you got a lot of kids, you're working, you're entrepreneur, like you got to find a way to blend,
to blend it out and figure it out. And there may be some mamas who, every day they can do that, and that if that works for you, then do that. But that for me, that doesn't work.
I'm glad that you brought this up too, because there's so much that I want to talk about. This is probably going to be multiple episodes, but anyway, I want you to talk to us about. Let's back up a little bit about like how you got here. Like, what was it about living a more holistic lifestyle, that attracted you to chiropractic medicine, that attracted you to functional medicine in the beginning?
Okay. So in the beginning, like a lot of us, you grow up and you keep hearing, what do you want to be when you grow up? What do you want to be when you grow up? And I like a lot of little girls in the 70s and 80s. All I could think about was I wanted to be a pediatrician. I just wanted to help babies. I love babies. I want to be a pediatrician. So I really held on to that all the way through high school, then got to college. And one summer, the very first summer that I was in college, so going into my sophomore year, I did a summer program. And in the summer program, it was a summer science program that took us to Meharry Medical School.
Okay.
So we toured Meharry Medical School, but then we also toured the dental school. And then I was like, dentistry. Maybe I want to do that, right? And I was like, and then I could be a pediatric dentist, or I could be an orthodontist. At the time I had braces too. So I was like, I could be an orthodontist, like that would be cool. So throughout the rest of college, I was in the pre-dental society, and I was going to go to dental school. That summer after graduation, I went to UNC Chapel Hill and did the MED program, which is for anybody who wants to go into any health profession school, right? Yeah. So it was full of people who aspired to be medical doctors, wanted to be dentists, wanted to be veterinarians, just whatever. And so we were like in an intensive program. I believe it was like 9 or 11 weeks. I can't really remember. But in those weeks, you really got the first semester of whatever health profession school you were going to.
Dope program.
Yeah, it was a dope program. It was super dope. Like, I mean, it was intense also. Like we were studying hard, and imagine I just graduated from college and I'm still studying hard. I was like, wait a minute, what?
You're like, I'm not ready.
On Mondays, we would take our test, and we would study the whole week, go to classes and everything. So I did the program, and I really realized at that program that I was pretty much ready for anything.
Okay.
You know, I felt very prepared at the end of that, and confident that I could go into whatever profession I wanted to go into, but I just still wasn't all the way sure.
Okay.
So when I came home, I decided that before I commit to anything, let me go shadow some people.
Okay.
So I shadowed a pediatric dentist, I shadowed a pediatrician, I shadowed a general medicine physician, and then someone that I knew at the time was in chiropractic school. So I started to research, well, what do chiropractors do? Because like a lot of people that I've grown up with and a lot of people that I know, all we knew was, car accidents, slips and falls.
Yeah.
That's all we knew.
That's
so
true.
I was like, so what do they do? And I had been to one before with my mom because someone told her that could help her allergies and her asthma. So I had been adjusted before and I had seen my mom get adjusted.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So
I would have thought that your first entry point would have been like back pain,
Yeah.
but allergies
and
and
asthma.
Okay.
Yeah. So we did that, and I that was in my memory bank. So I said, let me check this out. So I called her up and said, hey, can I come to class with you and all this kind of stuff? And I started researching what chiropractic is. And really, it's about the power that made the body, heals the body, number one, and that the body, if given the right circumstances, the right nutrition, everything, it can heal itself.
Yeah.
It's made to heal itself. And it was like a light bulb went on.
Yeah.
I was like, well, why wouldn't people want to do this? Before they go into, emergency medicine is wonderful. We need it.
Absolutely.
We need it. We need emergency
trauma.
Yes.
I need you.
Yeah. And I've needed it. You know what I mean?
Right.
I've had situations where I needed 2 surgeries, 2 days, in 2 days. So I'm super thankful to the medical community. They saved my life.
Yes.
However, I immediately sought my chiropractor after.
Yeah.
And she was like, huh? I said, yeah, we know. Now I need to heal. Like I got the emergency attention that I needed, but now I need my body to actually heal and to function in a highest capacity as possible.
And I'm so glad that you differentiated sort of the surgery that you went through, the surgical procedure to repair something and healing.
Yes.
Because honestly, if you really look at what currently we're doing in the medical community, it's not healing. We're not we are sort of hoping, we're giving these antibiotics, we're giving these chronic medications to try to treat chronic conditions, but we're not really focusing on the root cause and the healing process, because the body is what heals, not the medicine. Right?
Exactly.
Not the antibiotic, but it's literally the balancing of your immune system.
I like to tell my clients, healing is like peeling back an onion. So that's just the first layer. Immediate care, that immediate, prescription or whatever, that is the outermost layer. That is the onion covering or whatever. Then you have to start peeling back the layers if you really want to get down in there, if you really want to heal. But it's all about what you want.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So healing is, in chiropractic, we say healing is above down, inside out. Right? So it starts here, and it's about a mindset. And some people don't like to hear that because they say, so are you trying to say something is wrong with me? Like something is mentally wrong with me? No.
Yeah.
But what we are saying is that you have to have a positive mental attitude. You have to want the healing, and then you have to be willing to do what it takes in order to get it. And it's not a one-stop shop. It's not one size fits all.
Yeah.
It depends on you and your body and what you've gone through from birth until now. And sometimes pre-birth until now.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's
that's a whole other thing, right?
Because I often feel like we focus so much on like the antepartum, having the baby, postpartum, but it's like your fertility is like literally your whole
life. Your whole life.
Like I still need postpartum care.
Yes.
My youngest is right.
Yes.
Because the motherhood journey is still going on.
It's still going on.
And it's still affecting my body, mind.
So
Spirit.
yeah, it still goes on for years, and it's actually started years before you were even pregnant.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like it really starts well before that. People will say, I'm having a problem getting pregnant or this or that or keeping a baby or something like that. And sometimes it is purely physical, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's purely physical. Sometimes you got to dig a little deeper.
Yeah.
And it may not be purely physical. You know, we can get into a lot of the spiritual work of babies choosing parents, choosing environments, and all that kind of thing, and understanding that, you know, it's not just mechanical. Make a baby, baby's born. You know what I mean? And some people do luck up, and that happens. But at the same time, we also see sometimes that babies are not actually born into the best of circumstances, and that we see it later on in life.
Yeah. I want to ask you about, you know, how do you address someone who is, you know, what if we have a listener out there who's like interested in chiropractic care, interested in holistic care? So they're open
Right
to that. But then when they actually sit in front of you, get into it, you meet some resistance around like actually doing, like reframing that this is not a quick fix, reframing that there's no magic pill. What are some of your techniques, some of the advice that you try to help soften this person?
Right.
To really align them back to their highest self that brought them here in the first place,
yes,
but gets triggered, right?
Yeah. So that's an interesting question because, and it's changed over the years.
Okay.
In the beginning, it would be a lot of empathy and a lot of, well, you know, trying to really understand and what can we do. But along my own health journey, I've started to understand that, you know, I can have empathy for you, I can hold space for you, but I really can't do anything for you until you're ready to do something for you. I'm a guide.
Yeah.
I am the guide. I will hold your hand. I will kind of tell you which way to go. And if that's not working, I'm trained well enough to know how to, you know, maybe switch the gear.
Yeah.
And so that we can get on the right track. I'm trained to know all of that. So that's what I'm actually here for. But one of the things that I absolutely love, and it came to me over the years, is that, and why I call myself Dr. Mom Baby, is because I really believe that you're your first doctor. You know, I'm here to guide and help you, but I'm not here to do it for you.
Right.
So if you come to me, I would love for you to be in that space and ready to go, right?
I would love clients like that.
Yeah, I would love that. And the reality is that people show up and sometimes they're ready, sometimes they're not.
Yeah.
Sometimes they have to think about it. Sometimes they have to think about it, fall back some more, or fall, you know, when I say back or down, deeper into not being healthy until they decide, I'm not doing this anymore.
Yeah.
So they're sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Everybody has like their rock bottom, their turning point, their you know, I have reached the end of all that I can take.
Right.
And you know, I would love to say that I don't need to do that, you know, but that even happens for me too.
Exactly.
Sometimes you got to get to where you have nothing left, and then sort of seek out those higher, you know, your higher self calling you to change, calling you to evolve, and different things like that. Okay, that's cool. You know, for me, similarly, when I first started out, super empathetic, probably teetering too much on trying to like carry people along on the journey, and then realizing that I'm getting all this, like you too heavy. I can't.
Exactly.
Right. So I love that what you said about, you know, being a guide. Your job not being to try to change people's minds or try to, you know, carry them on this journey. Like it really has to be for you, and empowering people to realize that you can do this. Like whenever you're ready.
Right.
The way is open.
The way is open. And for me, my role, or how I've kind of become comfortable with it, is understanding that I am the example.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm not going to try to pull you or force you along. I wouldn't want
That's
somebody to
right.
pull me along,
Yeah.
but, and force me into anything. But when I realize how I feel, how balanced I am, when I really take care of myself and I really give myself the attention that I need, then when I start to waver away from that, I notice more and more. And like you said, I'm not going to say that I'm living that 24 hours every day. I'm
Yes.
going to say that I've gotten to the point that it's gotten easier and easier for me to recognize when I'm not living
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I've become more aware of, and so I don't go as far away from balance anymore, because I know when I start to get away, I'm like, oh, wait, hold on. I know what it feels like.
Okay, this is so good, y'all.
Yeah.
This is so good, because this is the next stage of like your highest self. You're the next level of showing up in your own power, your authority, knowing yourself, loving yourself. Like, this is what we're evolving to. And tell us about how you, for yourself, what practices or what experiences help you calibrate.
Help me calibrate.
How do you know when you're out of alignment? How do you know when you have gone too far and you need to come back in balance? Because I am a firm believer that, and I know you're too, that it comes from an internal knowing and an internal trust in not an external somebody telling me right that I'm wrong, or somebody telling me that I need this, or because advertisement and marketing and all these outside influences are constantly trying to get in our head, telling us about ourselves and what we need to do, especially, and I talk about this all the time, especially on my previous shows, because I think it's so important that we get into this right now as we move into the age of AI and machine learning. How do you know for yourself when you're being swayed? Right. When you're being like, so tell us, for you, how did you learn that? Like, it's a delicate dance.
It's a delicate dance, and especially because from childhood, people are putting stuff on us and in us,
they programming us, y'all.
Right. And I can't say that it's all bad, but it's not all good.
And we weren't aware of it.
And we weren't aware. We had no idea. So starting to siphon through what is coming from out there versus what's coming from in here. And for me personally, my gut is it talks a lot. Okay. But I didn't listen to it. I'm not going to say I've always listened to it. Okay. Didn't always listen to it. It was just like, what in the world? Like,
so you've always had, like, let's tease this out a little bit. Growing up, had this sense, and you felt it in your gut area of something, when something's not right.
Right.
Or it was mostly when it wasn't right, or even when something was going well, you would get that's a similar sensation.
That's a good question. Yeah. So I feel the sensation mostly when it's not right. Okay. It's mostly when it's not right. When everything is fine, I feel calm and great. Now, what I will say is last week, just for some reason, I got the feeling again. Okay. And I had to really flush that out because I'm like, why? I've started to really live in this place of my gut is not speaking to me like that. And I had to sit down and really think about it and reframe it as this may be your body recalibrating and expanding for something more. Yeah. It doesn't always have to be
something immediate.
Yes.
That's not wrong.
Yeah.
But it could be literally, okay, now you've mastered this.
Yes.
And now that's not quite the frequency that I'm preparing you
for the next. Yes.
I got goosebumps, y'all.
Yes. Yes. And I mean, when I kind of got to that's what I got. And I was like, oh, okay, now I'm ready. Now I'm back excited. So instead of anxiety, this is like, you know how it is when you meet somebody and you're like, oh,
butterflies.
butterflies, right?
Yes.
Right. And so the reframe of that, it took me a couple of days because I was like, I remember I just went to bed one day. Like I was just like, you know what?
I ain't got time to do this.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Maybe I'm tired. And I had been up with my son who is a teenager, like he was a baby, you know, because he had some things going on. So, you know, I was like, well, maybe I'm just tired. I don't know. Like, so just go to sleep. So I went to sleep. But then I woke up and I was like, well, wait a minute. You go, because nothing is going wrong.
Yeah.
Nothing is going wrong. So let's not think of it as something is wrong or your body's prepping you for negativity. Maybe your body's prepping you for like something super positive. I mean, you do it kind of got it going on right now, right? You know, and you got to give yourself that. You got to give yourself that. You got to get in that mirror and say, hey friend, hey friend, hey girl. You know, and I had to do some of that work. Not to get off topic, but I remember having to do some of that work before.
It is on topic, y'all.
Where I had to get in the mirror and say, listen, if you were talking to, I had to think about it in my mind. Who is somebody that you absolutely love? I mean, and I mean like friend wise, because you know you have these good friends, girlfriends, guy friends that you're like, you're the bomb. Like you think you're not, but I see all this goodness. And I was like, we gotta turn that right back on you. So there were days that I just got in the mirror, eyeball to eyeball, and was like, girl, come on now. Come on, you know, you. And it really does make a difference because you have to be your first, best, highest cheerleader and not listening to the folks who, because first of all, how they got time to not cheer you on if they cheering themselves on? Like how I got time to tell you what you not if I'm over here telling me what I am? You know what I mean? I am this, I am that. So I don't have any time to tell you what you're not.
I love that.
You know?
It not only helps build resilience when you get those outside sort of haters or detractors, but you guys have to remember that like we are energetic beings. We are energy. Like the only reason why we feel like this solid matter is because of our senses, our eyes, our taste, our touch. But we are energy fields, right? And so you may think, oh, talking to myself in the mirror is just like not that big of a deal. Or taking moments of contemplation and filling your body with oxygen is, that's too simple. But we are literally created by these overlapping fields of energy. And these words are like vibrations.
They are.
Right? And that can influence the vibration of this whole field. The breath, filling your oxygen in your cells and your tissues with air and contemplation for a few minutes, you're literally shifting those vibrations of those fields. And I just feel like if we can just get back to the basics of that, we can transcend so much of these man-made problems because we will have access to wisdom and clarity.
Because we haven't been told or shown how powerful we are. We're a little uncomfortable with the idea of I'm powerful.
Yes.
I was uncomfortable with that for a very long time. Yes. Very long time. I was uncomfortable with that. Uncomfortable with that. Uncomfortable with, you know, well, what if somebody's like, oh, who does she think she is? What makes her think that she can do that or she can do this? And it's like, wait a minute. I made a whole, and not to sound too woo-woo, but I made a whole agreement before I came into this plane that I was, am, and will be all that.
Yes.
So why would I not? You know what I mean? That is actually my job. So, you know, but we have the power to change things. And I don't even mean, a lot of people like to talk about this doing stuff, you know, protesting and this and that, and like getting out there and doing stuff. I'm talking about changing things from right here. You have the power inside of yourself, like, you know, out aside from all that you see out here that's going on.
And I love that sometimes that, you know, we were told growing up, I know I was too, that, you know, not to be prideful. Right. And, you know, you don't want to get too high and mighty. Right. And what I think what's happening is a conflation of pride versus like I can stand in my own power, in my own authority, and honor my beauty and not degrade yours, right? That's to me is what is the issue. If I think I'm all that and I'm like I have to put you down, or think that you're nothing for me to feel like something, that's the problem. But true authentic honor of yourself and standing in your power, it's like, yes, I'm all that in a bag of chips, and you are too.
Yeah, like how could you not be? Because I am. You know what I mean? Like that's
and we're connected.
Yeah.
She's just another iteration of source reflected back at me. We're all connected, right? So there's no world where I would, want to put somebody else down if I'm in that vibration of feeling connected, because I know I'm putting myself down. Right. I love it. I love it. And I love the shifting of this conversation and where it's going. I just want to honor that. I want to come back to part of your process, because I think what I love is to break down practically how people can start to shift and move in this way. Okay. And for you, I love like your example of last week, where you took notice. Like you didn't just like eventually, even if there was a point where you're like, I'm just going to go to bed. Yeah. Eventually you gave yourself space to come back to it. And I think that is also an area that we need to start to create openings in our lives. We're too busy. Way too busy.
Yes. And have not given ourselves permission, because you don't need anybody else to give you permission to be still.
Nope.
You don't got to be busy. Busy is not productivity. You know what I mean? Like everything is still going to go and move. You sick, you die in this world. Things are still going to keep moving on. Yes. So one of the things that I remember my mom, towards the latter part of her life, used to say things like, it's my time now. I've raised my children, I've worked and everything. But then she said it, but didn't really do it. You know what I mean? There were pockets of really taking care of myself and going on vacation and all this kind of stuff. But she's always doing for other people, which of course she's my mom. I love that. But a part of her legacy that I carry now is the permission to be still. Yes. Because she didn't give herself that permission. I highly doubt that women before her gave themselves that permission. So it kind of, I'm not going to say the book stops with me. I would like to say that, but that I want it to stop with me.
The pattern is shifting
the pattern is shifting with me. And my ideal thing is to show my daughters, my children in general, but to really show my daughters, it's okay. Yes. It's okay, sis, sit down. Yes. Sit down. Yes.
Because there's, again, going back to your onion metaphor, there's layers to this, right? Don't let your mind trick you into thinking that three minutes of silence, 3 minutes of stillness, and 3 minutes of contemplation is not going to do anything.
Yes.
That is false. Because it literally is just the first layer of like starting to peel back. It's like a portal. Yeah. It's a gateway.
Yes.
Right? You're building, you're shifting. You're building a practice of honoring yourself. And for a lot of us, part of some of the problems that we have literally comes from the fact that we have a pattern of betraying ourselves. You know what I mean?
And stop right there. Just bam. Bam. I can tell you that some of the things that we reframe once things happen to us, but some of the largest things that have happened to me or for me or whatever is because I betrayed myself. Saw it coming, told myself I wasn't going to do it, still did it, still didn't honor me. But the way that the universe source works is, though something is here, I always talk about balance. There's a way to get it back in balance, right? So what I learned by the last betrayal was to myself was that won't happen anymore.
You know, you
that
get
was
real.
That was the last time. The last time was the last time. There was some, there was some things that had to be cut off, some people that had to be cut off, but that will never happen in that way again.
Listen, you get emboldened.
Yes.
Part of this practice of pausing, listening to yourself, listening to your body, because and I didn't bring this to give this as much attention as I wanted to at the time, but listening to your gut, knowing what it feels like in your body when something is off, when something is wrong, and then learning, what does it feel like in my body when I betray myself?
Right.
What thoughts come to my head? What insecurities rise up? Do I get knots in my stomach? Does my chest feel tight and my air restricted?
Right.
Like, you start to become crystal clear on how your body, mind, and soul responds to when you betrayed yourself. And that's part of that balance and getting back in alignment. And you will learn some hard lessons.
Very hard.
And you're like, never again.
Never again. And the first few times that you practice it, if you're anything like me, it's going to scare you out of your mind, right? You're like, but I don't want to say that. But I don't want to do that. That's not me. And it's like something is saying, if you don't say it, it's just going to get worse.
Yep.
If you don't do something about this, it's just going to get worse. So like, you want worse? Or you want, because let's just be real here.
Yeah.
And then, so the first couple of times that I had to be brave, be brave and say what I needed to say and do what I needed to do. It was almost like the other person in the situation wasn't even upset.
Yeah.
They were like, yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right. And I was like, right.
And it really is.
Yeah. And they're like, you're right. And it was like, okay. But it was again one of those things where you're either going to continue this pattern or this path and not feel good. And it was like once I said it,
exactly.
It was like
this is so important.
Yeah.
Like, some of y'all may be listening who this is completely new to you, this idea of integration of mental states, emotional states with your body sensation and your body states. But it is, for indigenous wisdom, this is a no-brainer. This is how they lived. Right. But it's for our modern Western world, we are reintegrating this idea. And this is the foundation of health.
Yes.
This is the foundation of wellness. Because think about it. If you continue to betray yourself, you continue to sick to my stomach and letting your heart do that every time you are being called to stand in your authority, do what you're supposed to do. Every time you betray yourself, you're creating not only that immediate sense of imbalance, but you're creating these neuroendocrine signals, hormones that are the stress ones.
Yes,
right?
Yes. And to go a little bit further, it's going into your DNA. So some of the stuff we have in our DNA has been passed down to us, and we have to, again, I keep saying we have to do something about it, right? You have to do something. Like, you can not do something about it and it can keep getting passed down.
Right.
Or you can do something, stop the pattern, and change it.
Yes.
Change it for your bloodline. Change it for the people that are coming after you.
Yes.
Because why does it need to be that, your mother was anxious and her mother was anxious and, and then, so that's probably a sign that, so what can we do about this? And it's not a pill. It's not, it's not that. It's going inside yourself. And so what's the root of that? What's the root of that anxiety? And is the root of that anxiety feeling like I'm not enough, or what I say is not correct, or whatever somebody says to me is more correct than what I feel, or something like that? And then rooting yourself and figuring out, well, so now if I say how I feel, or if I feel how I feel, now then what's gonna happen? You know what I mean? Do I feel better? Do I feel better when I sit in my? I joke with my husband all the time about being on my lily pad, right?
Yeah.
I say I'm on my lily pad. Now, what everybody else doing their lily pads, it's not really of my concern, and I won't be jumping over on your lily pad.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stay on mine and just be peaceful right here.
We have to,
you know?
we have to do that. We have to, and listen, if you are a person who is using anti-anxiety medications to help you get through, your day-to-day life, or, for acute things that come up, like, do what you need to do.
Absolutely.
In addition, though, it is not curing anything.
Right.
It is literally, going back to what we said, it is the immediate repair patchwork, right?
It's putting the black tape over the check engine sign in the car. Like the car said check the engine. So you can not do it.
Yeah.
And then, it'll still continue to deteriorate, or you can figure out what is causing, because many things can be causing the check engine light to be on. It is not a one, it's not like, oh, I can just say the car doesn't have enough oil, or this or that or that. It could be anything.
Yeah.
And the same thing with the body. It could be anything. It could be nutrition. A lot of things roll back to nutrition and what we're feeding, what our gut is
doing.
Yeah.
And I love that I like the metaphor of the check engine light, because I know for some people, when that thing come on, it's like, oh, like, what is it? But really, it could be so many things, and it doesn't have to be something that bad or major. Like what you said, it could be you literally don't have enough probiotics in your gut, and so you are now more prone to this anxiety, because of maybe what was in your DNA or whatever. You're just more prone to it. So, okay, let's just eat some more vegetables, fermented foods.
Yes.
And you good. You just never know.
Personally speaking, I have watched myself, and if I've gotten the day started and forgotten to eat, I feel a certain way, right? And it may not be super positive. I have friends and family that say I get hangry, but I notice that when I've eaten, and especially balanced, I'm ready to go. Mind, soul, brain is good. And I mean nourishing things. So we have to see, talk about, what are we eating? What are we feeding ourselves? Are we feeding ourselves premium fuel because we're a premium, machine? Or are we just throwing something in there to say, I ate something? Yeah.
For me, and this is going back again to this super personalized knowing of yourself, getting to know yourself, taking the time to really, and it's not even hard, because honestly, when we were born in this world, we have this wisdom. Most of the stuff just been taught out of us, right? But once you start to get back to the quiet, the contemplation, the curiosity, that wisdom comes flooding back. Yes. It really does. So figuring out for you, Dr. Darnita talked about hangry. For me, it's when I am sleepy. I am not a pleasant person. Like when I am fatigued. So, and now I even got it to a sensitivity where it's not even like sleepy, but just fatigue, like mental fatigue.
Right.
When I'm mentally and emotionally fatigued, a lot of like my limiting beliefs pop up, and then negative self-talk comes up, and doubts about myself. And I remember one time having that aha moment and being like, wait, why do I not think I'm the bomb.com right now?
Right.
All this doubt and hesitation come from, I thought I worked on this,
Yeah.
And then it was just I just sat with it. Judgment. I just sat with like, dang, and just try to bring some compassion to it. And it was just like out of nowhere.
Yeah.
The wisdom just popped in like, oh, you're burning out.
Yeah.
Like you're just emotionally and mentally fatigued.
Same. That's why I took that nap last week. Because I was like, wait a minute, you've been up with this child in the middle of the night.
Like nothing's wrong.
Like night after night after night. Yeah. And then the week before that, the littlest one had a cold. And, moms have a hard time hearing their baby cough in the middle of the night. And so I was getting up with him. And I was like, wait, same thing. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. Yeah, it's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay.
There's nothing majorly, it's not that deep. Like go to sleep, get some rest, rebalance, recalibrate,
Right.
and get back. So getting to know yourself. Okay, I love that. So tell us about.
And you deserve to know you.
Yeah,
Nobody
you
else
do.
knows you any better than you.
That's
You
right.
deserve to know you. If anybody deserves to get to know you, it's you. So
That's
take
right.
that time for yourself.
It is so important, and prioritize even the smallest moments.
Yes.
Because like I said before, it's not about the quantity of time. It's really like the choosing of deciding to choose yourself.
Yes.
And then that's the
Yes.
first step. And then the layers start
Yes.
soon you'll be like, I need that.
Yes.
I need it. Won't even be a chore.
And you'll see how much better everybody else is around you when you choose yourself, and you're teaching them to choose themselves. You know what I mean? Like
they'll choose it. Yes, it's so much.
Yeah.
The pauses, because I think we're in such a culture that is constantly created to provide distractions.
Yes.
From
pull you away from yourself.
Pull you away from yourself, right? Because sometimes it's uncomfortable to be with yourself, right?
Right.
So we have all these fun things that we can do, so that we don't have to like contemplate and look inward and feel any discomfort or anything. And we have to be courageous and brave enough to say, you know what? There's a gift in this discomfort. There's wisdom.
Yes.
And helping me to come back to that balance in the discomfort,
right?
In your little ding, 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 ding that you had last week.
Yes.
Like,
yeah.
What is this?
Yeah.
I want to ask about, just because it's really top of mind right now, there's a lot of fear mongering in the media, right? There's a lot of, whenever you have sort of this rapid sort of change, shakeups, you have a lot of people that immediately get defensive and triggered, right? Because they have these strong, fixated ideas of what should be, what are they doing, what's going on, and then you feel personally threatened.
Right.
So in this climate, as a chiropractor, as a functional healer, when we have people in our leadership that are really like shaking things up and making us uncomfortable with like the policy changes and what can you say to those individuals, that the fear is rising up, the triggers are rising up? How can we take our power, stand in our own authority? Even if you want to mention conscious media use, because we can't just be sitting there ingesting and consuming all this trash.
No, I mean, generally speaking, however it sounds, it just sounds. But generally speaking, I don't know what's going on.
She said what she said.
Yeah, I said what I said. I don't know what's going on. I don't watch it. I don't.
Okay.
I kind of just turn off the TV because I know it's a distraction for me.
Yeah.
And so I don't. I know what's going on, sort of, because somebody's talking about it, or if I look at Facebook, is there or something like that. So I get a piece of it, but I don't get like enthralled or whatever. But I know that because I know that I'm sensitive. I've always been sensitive. So if I sit there and I really watch it and I really get pulled into it, then I'm going to be distracted from the real work that comes for me.
Speak on it.
You know what I mean?
So the first step, it already was, yourself.
Yes.
And what will take you too far out of a balance when it comes to media or media consumption or outside influences. So that right there is number one.
Right.
Take time to figure out what is listening to all this really doing to your inner self,
to you,
right?
Figuring that out. I think that was first for me, is I realized that back during the pandemic. I realized that I just couldn't. Yeah. I couldn't, because every time you would, I would go to my parents' house or something, because that's pretty much where I was, is either my house or my parents' house. But they were older people, so they had the TV on all the time. And CNN was like on repeat. And I would be able to come in the room with everybody for like a little while, and then I just have to go to another room. Yeah. Because I just could not consume it. And somewhere along the way, I realized that won't work for me.
Okay.
And then also that process of really getting to know yourself and deciding for yourself what you want. You know what I mean? And if if what someone else wants or says doesn't align with what I want, I don't want it.
Right.
I just don't want it. You know, like you may be right in your world of right and wrong.
Yeah.
But in my world of right and wrong, I make that decision.
Yeah.
And for a very long time, did not have that. I was not doing that.
Yeah.
I wasn't as sure as I am about it now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It
Yes.
was like, well, so and so said, you know, and they went to school for a really long time, so they have to know.
Yeah.
And now that I'm older, also, and I'm the age or approaching the age of some of the people that were saying things before, I'm like, nah, where did they really get that from?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Did they really? What sound knowledge, experience did they have that they really, you know? And I'm like, nah, I have sound knowledge experience now, and so I'm gonna roll with self.
Yeah.
You know.
So literally, the second step being having more confidence in sort of your inner authority.
Yes.
Right.
Your inner voice.
And being confident in making those decisions for you and your family.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
I have a question. So, because a lot of times people will say, okay, I hear you, sis, about this individual work, right? This inward out, top down,
yes,
and out.
Yes.
But what about this collective that we're in? You know, we're in community. Like, what do you see as the role of community? Because we have been talking a lot about these outside influences being too domineering. You know, we're not stable in ourselves enough to engage with them in a conscious way. So let's start here with the healing. Okay, now what?
Now what?
You know, we are in a community.
Yeah, we are in a community. And as far as what I feel like I'm learning now is the importance of community is that like-minded, like-souled community.
Okay.
You know what I mean? We can't just go out there and just reach for anybody out there in the community. Because again, that goes back to my philosophy about healing and helping others heal is everybody's not ready.
Right.
So everybody in the community is not necessarily a part of my community. So I have recently found pockets of communities that align with me and that I feel comfortable in. I feel like I can, you know, I had a friend years ago, we were working together and doing some business things for my business. And he would say, you know, you got to come in and just be naked and not afraid, you know? But he's a real jokester. So it was funny, but I understood what he was trying to get at. Yeah. It was like, you know, we got to take this to the we got to really get into it and not be afraid of what we're doing. So I feel like in community, it's helpful for me to be around people that I can be naked and not afraid. Yeah. Because they speak to me, I speak to them, you know, and it's not like I said, not a who does she think she is. It's not it's a I celebrate you, you celebrate me. And we're not, you know, just putting lipstick on a pig, just like, oh girl, you the bomb, to do it. You know, it's not like that. Yeah. But it is real soulful, heart-led type of love and appreciation for others. Now there are certain things that are out in the community and in the collective that are not like that. Yeah. And I feel like if they can get a hold of you and your light, they will certainly take it away, dim it, and all that kind of stuff. And I'm just not interested in that.
I love this because I think a lot of people in their current state of fear, their current state of contraction, they will seek out people that are in that same vibration. And it becomes this closed loop of, you know, you're in your silo and all y'all talking about is fear. But you mentioned this, and this is so important. Role of community being one of a high vibration of love, alignment, and challenge. Yes. I'm gonna be straight with it.
Yes.
Like, you don't need to be in a group that's all y'all thinking the same, saying the same trash. Right. Like, no. Like the role of the community is to feel completely supported and also challenged, like a safe container.
And that's how you know. That's how you know. That's how like I said, me, I'm gonna let you know, was fearful, had fears around leaving certain people, leaving. I'm talking about, not to be too give away too much, but I'm talking about family. Like that. That when you say you want to do something, well, why would you want to do that? You're not gonna be able to do that. Like, you want to do what? Instead of, you want to do that? Oh, I can see where you say I can see you doing that. You know what I mean? That affirmation, and that, just not, like you said, not pulling away or contracting. It's about expansion. It's about expansion.
Yes.
And
the more you take time for yourself, take that space, you'll know when you feel contracted, and you'll know when you feel expanded, lighter, right, freer. You'll know.
And when you don't have to sit there and say, "Ooh, okay, we probably can't talk about this because they're not gonna understand."
You know it.
They're not gonna. If I say I want to do this, they're gonna say, that's not your tribe. Not your tribe.
And we have to trust that this is the path forward. This is the path. This, like I said, like I love this chiropractic, downward, upward, down, inside out. And you will literally attract the community that is there to support you, to challenge you, to sort of push you to your next stage of evolution. And then from there, as we grow, we will then feel more connected to the sense of our greater community of humanity. Right. Once we've done that deep inner work, right? So I tell people right now, especially, first of all, watch your consumption of media and news, right? But then 2, you need to sort of just call back that fear, call back those triggers, and realize that what we have now in our leadership is just a reflection of like humanity's current consciousness state, right? So if you want anything to truly change, it's going to have to start
right here. Right there. It's not all about those people over there. It's you. Here. You got to start with you.
We all are connected.
Yeah, because I hear that so much. I just kind of let people talk. Well, I let, because they're going to talk. But, I'm not really a part of the conversations when they start talking about politics and this and that, and so upset about this person or that person. I'm just not here for that. I can't get on that wavelength, because I'm here. I am right here. This is what I have ultimate control over. I even tell my children that, like, I will ask them now, who controls this? And they're like, me. Exactly. I guide you. You know how I feel about things, and you know that, well, mommy wouldn't like that, or mommy said, you know that, but ultimately you control you.
Yes.
Absolutely. You're responsible for you.
I love that. So for your clients, what are the pathways that they can take to just start this journey? I know you do one-on-one.
I do one-on-one. So it just kind of depends on where they are and what they want to do. So there's a few different ways to work with me. So you could either, if you feel like you want chiropractic, then you could come and be a chiropractic patient. If you feel like there's some things going on in your body and you want a more functional medicine approach, you can do that. If you want to do the whole gamut, that's how I live my life. Is I go to the chiropractor, I'm doing my functional like I do all of it. Then we can do that as well. Or if you just want to come in and you want, holistic spa services, we do that as well, because all of this is a part. Like, generally everything that I do or I offer are things that I do myself that I find helpful, and I just offer it as well. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna tell you to do anything that I don't do already, that I haven't done.
This is part of our
if I did it and it didn't work, or I didn't like it, I'm not telling you about it. You know what I mean? And I'm not telling you about it, but I'm not trying to sell it to you.
Right.
And like that, that's what I mean. So so there's multiple ways, or just even soon I'll have a library of like classes and things. So
Okay.
if you want
Like self-learning,
yeah,
type
like
things?
self-learning
Love
type
it.
thing. So if you
Yeah.
want to do that, you can do that. You know, if you just need to dip your toe in the water or
Yeah.
whatever, you can always visit my website, learn more about my whole situation, what brought me here. It's
Yeah.
drmombaby.com. But yeah, you can learn all about me, my philosophy. I have a See If We Fit call.
Okay.
So that if you are kind of teeter-tottering on like, maybe I do want to work with her, we'll talk for 30 minutes and you'll get a chance to tell me a little bit about what's going on, and then I can tell you how I work.
Yeah.
And then we can see if that's a good fit for each other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Every doctor is not a fit for the patient. Every
Yeah.
patient is honestly not a fit for the doctor.
Yes.
You know what I
Yes.
mean? Like
Yes.
we have to be in alignment
Yeah.
so that we can get the best results
I love
for
it.
you. Because if, like I said, it's not going to work if
Yeah.
we're not both on board.
Yes, that's important.
I'm more of a teacher, coach, you know, type thing. You know, I definitely have clinical experience. I'm definitely going to bring that to the table.
Yeah.
But at the root of it, it's about the person
Yeah.
and what they want to actually have happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. I'm going to put Dr. Darnita's information in the comment section and attach it to this video. I feel like you guys, if you are ready to like stop being the victim of all this stuff, like you have the power, start to take baby steps towards integrating like your mind, your mental health, your emotional health, functional body health, in assembling a therapeutic team.
Yes.
Okay, that matters. Like going to a provider that's constantly telling you like that you don't know, you don't have any authority. I am the one that has all the answers and you need to sit and listen to me. Like that is detrimental to your health. Okay, so I'm just saying across the board, whether you go to somebody more holistic like Dr. Darnita, and include people like your primary care physician and your pediatrician, if that therapeutic relationship is wrong and it's not, you don't feel seen, heard, there's no trust there, that is detrimental to your health. So seek out, you can interview folks.
Yes.
Seek out people that are aligned to making you feel seen and heard.
Yes, that's why we're at Align Wellness Center. I love to just tell people, align your life. You have to align your life.
Yes.
Everything in your life for you to live optimally well. You know what I mean? Your mind, your body, your spirit, your providers.
Yes.
You know what I mean? If you have providers that don't even want to work with each other to get your best health, that is not good. That's not going to render you your best health.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So you want people that want the best for you. We should all be on the team.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? We're all on the team.
I love that you mentioned that too.
Yes.
All right. Thank you guys again for listening. Thank you, Dr. Darnita, for coming and
You're
visit.
welcome. Thank you for having me. Yes.
Of course, because this is my soul sister.
Yes.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, share this, because this is about building community, a coalition of people who are no longer playing the victim, but are taking back their authority, taking back their power, and standing firm in total mind, body health. All right. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.